Hello, this is Amira. I am here with the Woman in Myth Oracle deck, and I thought we'd walk through it together. This is the Woman in Myth, and what drew me to this was I was looking at different decks, and I saw this one, and I was a little bit intrigued, but not sure. But as I was looking through it, I saw that like a pretty diverse deck, so I wanted to give it a try and see if that's the case. Let's do this. Now, as I walk through decks, I go through it card by card, and I set aside some cards to choose as my favorite. After I've done the walkthrough, then I go through and narrow down my favorites to 5 or 6 when it comes to tarot cards. This is not a tarot deck. I think we have around 50 cards, so let's go with 4 or 5 as my favorites. Okay, we've got a little guidebook. Oh, it's color, which is very nice. That is very nice. Yes, okay, this is what I was talking about. Okay. I'm getting distracted by the imagery, and what I really need to be doing is looking at the images of the cards themselves. This is the back. That is not gold foil, but I think it's intended to give a gold look to it. And that's a nice enough back. I can appreciate that. And let's flip it over and see. Amaterasu, Goddess the Light. This art is just beautiful. I don't know how I'm going to choose favorites, but I do really like that one. Ariane Rod. Okay, I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce these. So please excuse my poor pronunciation. Goddess, the Wheel. Atargatis. Goddess, the Flow. Ooh, I'm super curious about the story behind that one. Athena. Goddess, the Mind. Oh, I don't know if I can pronounce this at all. Sorry. Goddess the Heart. And that is, of course, the image on the cover. Corn Mother, Goddess the Seed. Look at how her skin looks like the corn. Freya, Goddess the Pleasure. Inuitepo, Goddess the Guide. Looks like she's holding skulls. Okay. Huitaka, Goddess the Wild. Oh, that's a beautiful image. Ishtar, Goddess the Force. Isis, Goddess the Mother. Okay, I'm gonna need to do some pronunciation work before I could do this. Goddess the Brave. Kali, Goddess the Frenzy. This is a really powerful image. We've got skulls coming from the fire, from the flames. Mamiwata, Goddess the Offer. The Morrigan goddess, the hand of fate. Actually, Goddess Oya, the transformer. Goddess Pele, the eruption. Amba Shikandi, heroine, the avenger. Arawolo, heroine, the power broker. Atalanta, heroine, the runner. Princess Bari, heroine, the healer. Dido, heroine, the lover. Draupadi, heroine, the advocate. Ooh, I want to know her story too. Lagertha, heroine, the independent. Okay, I am really hoping the guidebook offers some really good insight because I want to learn about these women and what they have to teach me. Maeve, heroine, the challenger. Mama Huaco, heroine, the teacher. So bright. Morgan Le Fay, heroine, the rule breaker. Mulan, heroine, the secret keeper. I'm not going to try and pronounce this, I'm too scared. Heroine, the storyteller. Sky Woman, heroine, the nature lover. Gorgeous. Splinterfoot Girl, heroine, the escape artist. Okay, I've got lots of favorites and I've got to narrow this down at the end. Thakane, heroine, the adventurer. Heroine, the rebel. Urduja, heroine, the diplomat. Like the cards are divided into 3 categories. We have the goddess, which is in this goldish mustard color. We have the heroines, who are in this purple color, and we have the monsters, who are in this teal. Monster the Predator. Al-Kharisi, Monster the Night Stalker. Wow. That art is amazing. Baba Meek, Monster the Imposter. Baba Yaga, Monster the Burden. Klidna, Monster the Sadness. Dear Woman, Monster the Watcher. This art is so amazing. Monster the Illusion. Monster the Hunger, Kitsune, Monster the Trickster, Kiyohime, Monster the Obsession, La Llorona, Monster the Torment, Lilith, Monster the Renegade, Medusa, Monster the Outcast, Percha, Monster the Betrayer, I want to know her story too. I want to know about all of these. Pesta, Monster the Omen, and here we have Monster the Warning. Okay. We've done the initial walkthrough, so now let's go through and try to narrow this down to 4 or 5 favorites. How am I going to do this? I am not sure yet. Okay. Well, we gotta see what we're dealing with to start with. Okay. I was cautiously optimistic about this deck. I was hopeful about this deck, but now that I have been going through it, I am pretty excited actually. I love that we have a racial diversity. I love that there's a diversity of goddesses, heroines, and monsters. And we can learn lessons from all of these. Oh my goodness, I've chosen so many possible favorites. Alright, I went overboard. Okay. my attempt to choose favorites. I don't know all the stories, so I'm not saying that these are my favorite stories or that any story is better than the other. I'm just saying that these are the ones that speak to me on just a personal level. So, of course, they're my favorites. You will have different ones. But let's do this. Okay. So, this one isn't obvious to me. I just really love the waters. I don't know if they're bloody waters, but what's going on here, I don't know, but I love it, and so it's going in there. This is hard. I'm gonna go with Monster the Sadness. And again, I don't know, I just, this is a watery thing I'm drawn to right now, I guess. But I just love these waves, and I don't know her story, but that expression is just so poignant and haunting. And then we have that little spot of color up here to add a bit of contrast, and I just love it. And I'm sure it's symbolic as well. So that's going in the favorites. I keep coming back to this one. And again, this isn't water, but like I seem to just be drawn to these flowing lines. I really love these colors, and they're so bright and unique, which of course makes sense since this is the light. Oh, beautiful. I'm going to start eliminating. So, as beautiful as they are, I need to reduce some of these. Okay. Gotta narrow this down somewhat, because I've got 3 favorites right now, and that means I can have 2 more. I mean, there's no law about this. I can have as many favorites as I want, but this is just something that I enjoy doing. Oh, okay. I keep coming back to it. So we're going to go with the Night Stalker And I do not know this story, but I look forward to finding out more. So far we have 2 goddesses, 2 monsters. So let's eliminate the monsters and the goddesses from the rest, because we need to, you know what, I'm going to do 6. I'm going to do 6 favorites. We're going to have 3 from each of the groups. That seems only fair. I'm going to go with these 2. But this was super close too. Here, I am just loving the Independent. How her hair like resembles flame. She's just set on a course. She's going where she's going. It doesn't matter about the arrows. If she gets hit, oh well. And this, just the beautiful motion of that jump is amazing. I love it. I love this in the foreground. It looks like grass because we've got this kind of as a weed popping up. You could also see it as a horse's mane if you wanted. Got a teepee back here. These are my favorites. Let's go through this. This is a standard tarot card. This is how it looks compared to this oracle. So it's a little bit taller and like 3/4 of an inch wider, somewhere in that area. We already mentioned the backs. It's quite pretty. Smooth matte. Now we're going to pull the card and then we're going to take a look at what the guidebook says. Dido, heroine, the lover. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little. Oh good, we've got some oracle card spreads, so I'm very excited to see that and how that works. It's got a nice table of contents, the cards and how to interpret them. Okay, is it in alphabetical order? It appears to be in, no it's not. First it's categorized under the goddess, heroine, monster, and then it is story. The pseudo, okay, the keywords are all or nothing, obsession, spite. The pseudo-historical queen of ancient Carthage is known for founding the ancient city and for her tragic story with her husband, the hero Aeneas. Despite the aid and love that Dido gives Aeneas, he abandons her. In her despair, Dido curses him with her dying breath. The card meaning. This card represents a desire to get what you want at all costs. You might feel sorry for yourself because it seems like the world is against you. Ask yourself what part you play in the current situation. A string of misfortune or bad luck now can be experienced as the reversal of fate. Queen Dido's appearance is urging caution, asking you to assess the situation before you act rashly. You have a blinding passion for someone or something that is clouding your judgment, and you may be reacting out of spite or short-sightedness. I really like how they're not all, I mean, you kind of get that idea already with the inclusion of the monsters, but I like how they're not all representing positive traits. That's one thing that I find in oracle cards, or at least the ones that I've tried, is that many of them only look at positive scenarios or are only about affirmations. And those are great. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but for me, I really appreciate having both. Now, I will say, I wish there was a page about the story and then moving on to the card meanings. I really wish that there was more about the myth itself. Let's turn to a page about spreads. When to do your reading, where to do your reading, spreads. Okay, the one card spread is an easy way to introduce yourself more deeply to a specific card and woman. It is recommended to be repeated either monthly or weekly. The Who is My Spirit Guide spread. So card 1 is the spirit guide. Who is acting as a spirit guide for you in this moment? There's an acting with intention spread. Card 1 is a situation. Card 2 is an action. The mind, body, and spirit spread. The Taking Back My Power spread. Okay. The Crossroads spread. The Wheel of the Year spread. I'm very, very excited to at least do this. Let's go ahead and do the mind, body, and spirit spread. They shuffle pretty well. The cards are like not super thick, but kind of thick. Let's do a 3-card spread. Okay, let's all right, what does my mind need to know right now? Oh, I shuffled. But let's go back to her. My mind needs to know that you have a blinding passion for something. It isn't someone that is clouding your judgment, and you may be reacting out of spite or short-sightedness. Okay, I'll think about that. What does my body need to nurture right now? Monster, the Obsession. Let's look her up. She is a young Japanese woman who falls in love with a handsome monk, who promises to marry her but later rejects her. In her rage, she transforms into a giant serpent and kills him. Card meaning: you've activated an anxious or avoidant attachment style. The more distant something or someone feels from you, the more you cling. Conversely, you could be distancing yourself from anyone who wants to get close to you. Her advice: core wounds, likely from childhood, are being reopened in your present circumstances. This is an opportunity for healing and transcendence if you can find a way to process your pain and move forward. Avoid fixating on loss or rejection. Direct your energy to those who want to receive it openly. And that is what my body needs to nurture right now. Okay. All right. I have an idea of where that's going, but I'll give it some thought as well. What does my soul need to feel right now? It's really interesting that I got one of each. Oh, this is one I wanted to know. This is one that I was really curious about. So let's look her up. Goddess the Guide, and this is what my soul needs to feel right now. It's the goddess of death and protector of the dead. As souls pass through the underworld, it is said that she guides them into the afterlife and protects them from harmful gods on their journey. This is a message from the other side. The message could arrive via visitation, signs, synchronicities, or dreams featuring the appearance of a departed loved one, a spirit guide, or your own subconscious thoughts. She is asking you to be still, to sit in silence and really listen. You don't have to strain to hear what you know to be true. Trust that you are divinely guided and protected. Know that you're not alone. And that was what my soul needs to feel right now. I am divinely guided and protected. I am not alone. Wow. This is just initial thoughts. But this met my expectations and more. My only wish is that I already mentioned is that I wish that there was a little bit more about each of these women. But the fact that they are in this deck and I'm going to be able to learn a little about them here is great, and I can certainly research to find out more. I'll come back after I've had some time to do some work and give you additional thoughts. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll be back again soon with another video, but until then, take care.